jump into today's video. As you can see from the title of today's video, we're gonna talk about COVEN, American Horror Stories, Season 3. I'm not gonna talk about the whole entire show because every season is different. It's a different saga with the same ensemble cast, kind of playing different roles. So I won't talk about every season, but I may talk about a few. But COVEN is definitely going to be one. If I do talk about more, I may not. But COVEN is definitely going to be one of the seasons that I talk about. I'm going to see what I'm doing. I'm going to line my lips. Okay, I'm going to show you guys what I used this morning on my face. It kind of is something new and different, so it may look a little crazy. I bought this at, I'm using the Absolute New York 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. I've been using this for quite a while now, about like 2-3 years. Yeah, it's been lasting. It's ran out, which is why I got this, but I'm gonna tell you. So I bought this Absolute New York Blur FX foundation coverage tint. It's in the shade of Bubble Milk Tea. It's F07, and this is what it looks like, and you can obviously see it's not my shade. I estimated on Amazon, and obviously I got it wrong. It's not my shade, but it is a lighter complexion of me, close to my shade, close to this, so I mixed the two, and got this. It was a lot brighter, but I toned it down with my Miami bronzer Sunshine.
2,000 years later.
Okay, back to what I was saying. American Horror Stories, COVEN Season 3. I started watching it last night, but my phone bill wasn't paid yet, so my internet was kind of going in and out, and I was also sleepy and zooted, so I was like, it was a lot going on. So I was in the middle of watching it. I've seen it like 1,000 times before, but I wanted to re-up it because, you know, I wanted to talk about it today on my YouTube. Be productive on our YouTube. I might go with black today on my liner, on my lips. Haven't done it in a minute. Haven't gave alternative in a minute. So COVEN Season 3 is obviously about the witches. It has Emma Roberts, Sarah Paulson, Jessica Langdon. Is that her last name? I probably said that wrong. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. And all others. Well, what's that one girl who played Queenie? She's in there. Queenie, obviously. Excuse me. But hold on, give me one moment while I line my lips. Down low was supposed to be not very much vocal about them being witches, because obviously at this time of the time period, witches weren't acceptable and they weren't allowed to just roam around and about, so they had to keep a low profile, but also they had to keep the coven which they stated alive, so say. And the coven's headmaster, I keep forgetting the name, so I'm just trying to make up as I go. The coven's supreme, there we go, it's lagging, we're here. So the coven's supreme, Miss Jessica, played what was her name in the show? Give me a minute. Was the soon-to-be next Supreme. Now, if you haven't watched the show, I'm sorry, because the show's been out for a long-ass time, and if you haven't seen it, go watch it, and then come back to this, because you may get spoiled all throughout. Okay, so, first we're gonna start with the adults.
Beetlejuice. Baba Legaboo, whatever the hell his name is.
Legba. He's a deity. Show some respect.
Respect is something that is definitely lacking around here. I will grant you that. You will show me respect. You're supreme until the moment I am replaced.
Miss Fiona Good. I remember the names now. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me line my lips and I'm gonna finish. Okay, Miss Fiona Good. I like Fiona. I love her, actually. I feel like also the little monologue that her and Cordelia had in the first episode, about how when she came back, because first she was away because she wanted to find some cure for her old age. Sorry, it kind of probably sounded rude. For her old age, she wanted to be younger, and obviously, as you know, if she has the power, she's gonna go, you know, go see if she could make herself younger or look younger, present younger. She comes back because she hears the news of Misty Day, the witch who was discovered and burned alive at the stake. She comes back because that news is tragically out, and she wants to help out because she obviously thinks that her daughter at the Coven isn't really, you know, stepping up to par and doing her job. I wouldn't say necessarily that, Fiona. But she did have a point. She did have a point. She did come back at the right time. I think it was set up for that way to be like that. I think it was set up for her to come back at that time because it's like, you need her the most, Cordelia. Even though you don't want to admit it, you need her the most. Right now. Because obviously you're under attack. And we're not ready. We're not prepared. We're not ready for war. We just brought in Zoe, the new girl, who obviously has pussy powers, queen slay, and she kills men if she has sex with them. Cool. Also, she obviously unlocks more powers other than that, but I think that's the majority of her power. So yeah. And she came back. She was like, Cordelia, I'm gonna help you because obviously it's the time for me to come back and teach the girls. And she was like, why don't you just go off and die? And that was a bit kind of nutty for me to hear, but Fiona isn't a good mom at the same time. Like, she is the Supreme, and she was just out going to like find a cure for her aging skin, so obviously she really doesn't care about the Coven as much. But you know, she couldn't really find a cure, so her only leeway was to go back to the Coven and help out until she could find something. Cordelia wanted to help you, though. She wanted to give you a serum. Obviously, she's a witch and she likes to play around in her potions and pills, like you said. Let her help you. But she didn't let her, so, you know, can't really cry about that. So, yeah, I like Fiona. I think the whole not accepting that you're getting older, therapy might be the lead way for that. Maybe we should look into that instead of young serum, instead of aging serum. Let's look into therapy first, Miss Fiona. She did have a 180 at the end because, you know, she was dying and she obviously had to pass the baton of the Supreme. She didn't know it was going to her daughter. How didn't you know, though? Like, you're the Supreme. If you tell, it kind of made sense, though, because in the first episode, she was like, Cordelia, you have Supreme blood running through your veins right now. And you didn't know who was going to be the next Supreme. This whole, I'm going to go out and kill everyone so I can remain Supreme. Cordelia, let's chat. What was that about? Please answer me. Less than 300 words on a new Romans font doc. What was the point of going after all those women and killing Madison, of all girls, at the beginning, to remain the Supreme, the head Supreme? You're getting older, you're aging. Shouldn't you want to remain the rest of your days enjoying life? No, I would, but you know, I'm not in this, so obviously it was just funny to me how Fiona kind of made this, I need to get younger, I need to stay relevant. For what, though? It seems like, according to the stats, it seems like you've had a good run. So what was the need to remain supreme? Are at the beginning you didn't really care about the coven. Your daughter did. So she was running things. She was taking care of those girls. She knew about Madison's heart problems. She knew about all of the girls' problems. So did you really care about being supreme, or did you just like the name? Maybe we have a God complex issue going on here. I think that's Fiona's problem. But nevertheless, I like Fiona. She was very entertaining, obviously. Her whole persona this season, going after everyone to just remain, it just was a nasty, naughty look. Okay, the Axeman, that whole thing, tit for tat, making her fall. Okay, are they the same age? Technically, as she got older, they were, but in the beginning, they weren't. So I'm gonna side-eye Ryan a little. Just a little. What was that? You make them get together. You made it out to be... Okay. No, it doesn't make sense. Any other way you want to put it, it just does not make sense. Ryan's sick. That's sick. Okay, I get the Axeman is a ghost, but you made it out to be him watching her as a fatherly figure at first, and then falling in love. No. So I declined, and I'm glad Fiona declined later. She kind of pushed him away because she didn't want... It was the whole aging. She didn't want him to watch her age because he obviously watched her grow up. So she was like, oh, I don't want you to watch me die and watch my hair fall out because it's cancer. So it was... I understood, but, you know, he had to go. So I'm glad that Fiona... Yeah. Oh, but he didn't literally... He literally... Sorry, I'm applying lip gloss. He literally... Okay, so when Fiona died, they were in hell together. Imagine this man in his ghost form coming to you saying, I've watched you grow. I basically watched over you like prey, like a sexual predator, and watch from behind closed doors, and now I get to have you. And then you push him away because you're dying of cancer, and then he's in your hell after you die. No. Couldn't have been me. Wouldn't have been me. No, absolutely not. I'm sorry that Ryan, he's sick. But for Fiona, for her character, I think that was... I don't know. I think that was the best route, maybe. Because, you know, to prove, like, you know, she wasn't a good person. She really didn't care about the coven. All of her reasonings as to why she wanted to come back weren't for the coven like she so claimed. It was for her own personal reasoning. So I really was glad that Ryan kind of like stuck to that I'm a villain persona that she was obviously portraying, because she obviously was the villain. She, even though, you know, she was a good, not really, she wasn't really good at all, but you rooted for her like she was a good person, right? You wanted her to win, even though she was the bad guy in actual life. You wanted her to, you know, at least win a little. I know I did. I like drama. Maybe that's just me. Okay, next. That's Fiona. Next is her daughter Cordelia. I love Cordelia. She's the next Supreme. I actually watched Apocalypse and I seen how that ended. So, if you haven't watched Apocalypse or Coven, you need to go watch that now. But if not, R.I.P. Cordelia. She is now presumed dead. In the later seasons in Apocalypse, I think that's season 10, Apocalypse seasons, she died in that season. R.I.P. I forgot who was the next Supreme, but R.I.P. Cordelia. I'm gonna talk about her now. So damsel in distress turning into the next supreme queen. I really love that because we never really guessed. We just really thought she was the Supreme's pathetic daughter who couldn't even like save Queenie when she, got attacked by that demon. Kind of a slay that she was the next Supreme. I mean, it kind of made sense because you are the Supreme's daughter. Obviously, you inherit a little bit of your mom's legacy. So, why wouldn't you not expect to be the next Supreme? You know what I mean? Like, it kind of made sense. I'm glad that they chose her. I kind of wanted it to be one of the girls because, that was our main focus and our main cast, and that's who we were mainly thinking about. We were like, which one of these girls is it? And it actually wasn't any of the girls. It was their teacher. So, ha ha ha, funny, Ryan. That was very funny, but clever. So, cool. I really, 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 really like her story arc. She went from hating her mom to helping her cross over in a good light. They forgave each other. They had their sentimental talk. Was it very sentimental? Or did Cordelia just be like, you can go now because I've had enough? She was pretty bitchy to her whole entire life. She felt like her mom abandoned her. She has mommy issues. Hey queen, welcome to the club. I think that's why I really like Cordelia, because of her mommy issues. I feel like if I didn't resemble the same, I felt like I wouldn't have liked her that much, because they really didn't. Oh, that whole storyline with her and that, what's his name, Hank Harrison, whatever his name is, that the witch hunter. Lord, so help me God. Lord, so I'm so glad that they got him out of here with the help of Miss Angela, the voodoo queen. I'm so glad that he is now in the midst of hell, because we don't have to worry about him anymore and his nasty ass father. I'm so glad that they handled their asses. You're a sick man. Even though you wanted Cordelia, you really, 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 really are a sick man. I'm gonna talk about him though when I get to him. I'm not gonna waste him on Cordelia's time. I'm so sad that she couldn't have a baby when she wanted to. She really, really wanted a kid. She really didn't care about being Supreme. That was the last thing in Miss Cordelia's mind. She just wanted a baby. She just wanted a family. And, I think this is, like, your true calling. God telling you, I'm sorry, I have, like, obviously you can see. Hold on, we'll be back. We'll come back to this. Okay. Obviously, that was God basically telling you your calling isn't shacking up with the man, because look how that turned out. Look how the man in the situation turned out. Imagine if he actually would have got her knocked up. Imagine. Oh, it would have been way far off worse. I'm so glad that they didn't have that happen. Ryan, you did one thing right. But I think it was basically for her story arc and to, like, make her becoming the Supreme a little more justified and a little more respected. Like, because she got handed shit the whole season by her mom and her was he her husband? Or, yeah, her husband, or whatever he was to her, fiance, whoever. Yeah. And by the girls, she got treated bad by the girls. They didn't like her ass. And she was the only one trying to help them. Like, y'all could give her a little respect. Like, back off a little bit. But, she won in the end. So, period. That's Queenie. Exactly. Next character, is his name Hank or Bernard? I'm not sure. Cordelia's husband. We're going to talk about him really quickly. And, actually, we're just gonna talk about him and his father, both together. The Harrison boys, or whatever, the Harrison men, or whatever you want to call them. I hope you both rot in hell forever and ever and ever. Witch hunting, you don't have anything else better to do? You don't have anything else better to do? I mean, it makes sense, because in a world of witches, you have to have someone who hates them worse than civilians. So, Why not have those same civilians become a higher up and make themselves witch hunters? But my question again, you don't have anything else better to do? And my real concern, obviously you have father issues because your dad is obviously a dementor who obviously brought you up on this cruelty to hate women. But my thing is, you hate women so badly, but the woman you fell in love with was the kind of women that you want and that your daddy brought you up to kill. How? I mean, obvious. I mean, it makes sense because most men, who would like, obviously, if he grew up witch hunting, he'll fall in love with a witch. Like, clever cliche, but I just didn't like that. It kind of stunk to me every time he was on the screen trying to showcase love, but deep down you hate women. You kill other women. You were taking your wife's clientele list for her coven, and you were offing those women. And you think you deserve Cordelia and happiness and peace and love? You thought you were gonna get that? And you were offing these women off your wife's clientele list? You thought? Yeah, let's not do that again. Let's not think ever again, because obviously you're not a good thinker. Yeah, I'm so glad that they handled him. I don't really recall how he died. I also do remember it was very funny because I was all on her side the entire time. Her mom knew. She was like, he's no good for you, Cordelia. Like, I'm sorry if I'm saying her name all wonky. He's no good for you. Like, Delia. I'm gonna call her Delia because it's more easier to pronounce. She was like, he's no good. He's literally scum. And Delia wasn't really trying to hear it at first, but I'm glad that she kind of got the message later on. This man is no good, Delia. Leave him immediately. It took her being blind. It took her going blind to realize that her husband was cheating on her and killing her clientele list. She didn't really know, like, he was actually killing her clientele list, but it took her becoming blind to know that he was cheating. And I'm glad that she didn't fall back. I'm sorry if I'm fucking my edges up. I'm so glad that she didn't fall back into the clutches of, oh, he'll get better if I just, no, get rid of him. Get rid of him. He is bad news, and he also wants to murder you. That's his job. So, yeah, we don't trust any man in this show. No man. Not even the dog not even Evan Peters. Okay. So yeah, that's the, oh, and his dad, yeah, I hope you burn too. Forcing your son to witch hunt with you, to become a witch hunter. I thought people who done shit, okay, in the movies that I grew up on, families who are in businesses and stuff like that, supernatural stuff like that, they want their kids to stray away from that? I thought you wouldn't want your son in that. Not you pushing your son into the limelight of being a woman killer, basically a woman hunter, because that's basically what you're doing. You're killing women because witches are women. You're not killing warlocks. You're not killing men. You're killing women and teenage girls. So you rose your son up in that. You raised him into that and thought that was a good idea to do. And now look at that. Look at how your poor decision making, your evil decision making got you and your son to die. I think his son killed himself in that shootout in the salon. I think in Marie's salon they killed themselves, or he killed himself after he tried to kill everybody in there. Clown. He's a goofy. They're both burning, so it really does not matter anymore. You know, they got handled, and enough on them. Next is Marie Laveau, the Angela Bassett character, The Voodoo Queen, period. She ate. The whole cast is elite. They all ate their roles, like, elite casting. Brian did one thing right. Angela did an amazing job playing the Voodoo Queen. The Narch emissaries, but I rooted for her the entire time. Slay. And then them joining together to take out, slay. To take out the witch hunters and the Axeman, slay. They were like, yeah, we have to. I loved how it was the witches, the women versus the men that were trying to attack them. Instead of having the men win, the women band together, the Narch nemesis, and they band together, and they take out the men themselves. Exactly. Ryan, you did one thing right. You did one thing correct. Period. That's how it was supposed to be the entire time. And I was smiling, grinning ear to ear when they had that fake press conference and they slashed all of that. I am not a big fan of Guru, but I enjoyed that scene very, very much. And I think it was displayed very well too. It wasn't like really gory and it wasn't really disgusting. I think that was like a well done scene, and it was really, really clever. I love that. So yeah, I loved her character. Her issue was mainly with that racist bitch ass slave master. What was her name? DeVoe, whatever. I think that was her last name, but I can't remember her name right now. Delphine. Yeah. Her issue was mainly with her, and so was mine. Get her out of here. I don't care. I really could care less what her and Queenie are trying to sit up and shack up and do. Get her out of here, because she's racist, and she also was a slave master, and she did horrifying things. Once Queenie found that out, she was like, okay, you can go. She literally gave her up to the Voodoo Queen, and honestly, slay, because she had to go. You're a sick woman. Anyways, I'm glad that she handled her over and over again. She said, I'm gonna get you again and again and again and again. And she did. And that was quite hilarious to me. She was like, you don't deserve to be galloping around being a slave. Like, it doesn't matter that she made you a slave. It doesn't matter. You need to die. And I was honestly on her side. I was like, correct. Get her out of here. So I'm glad that she did that. I loved her. Loved the Voodoo Queen. Next character is the arch nemesis, Dolphin. You will burn too. Damn, is everyone in the show evil? You will burn too. Yeah, it's already been sent into the universe. It's already been out there and handled. You will forever and ever, nevermore burn, evermore, whatever. You will be handled in due time, if not already. Very, very sick woman. I kind of explained her with Marie. So, yeah. Very sick woman. Trying to befriend Queenie because Queenie saved your life with your daughters out to kill you. Who cares? Literally, I don't care. I could care less. You still, they were after you for a reason. You weren't a good person in real life. So you had to go. And I'm glad that they recognized and Queenie got you out of here quick. So, period. Next is Axeman. You didn't have to be here. The fatherly love to actual love plot with Fiona, I wasn't here for neither of any of that. I'm sorry. I couldn't. I wasn't a fan of that. I wasn't a fan of that. And I question you if you were, because he said out of his own mouth, I watched you grow like a father. and then I started falling in love with you as you no, you're a sick man, and you're also burning in the fiery inferno with the rest of these people, because you're an evil individual, and I'm glad that they got you out of here. Even though him and Fiona share the same hell, I wish that they put her elsewhere. She could have went to hell still. I wish they just would have put her in a different hell. She didn't have to go to hell with him, because that's kind of sick. Like, she was groomed by him, basically. She was groomed. He's a pedophile. And then just because they were the same age, he was stuck at that age because he was dead. He's still a pedophile. He died a pedophile. So my point still remains. You needed to go, and it sucks that you guys are in the same hell, but you had to get up out of here too. So that's pretty much it on you. Next is I think, is that all the adults that I want to discuss? And I think that's all the adults. Yeah. Next, Myrtle. I'm gonna talk about the council. Okay, the council. Sorry, I was gonna leave them out. Next up is the council and Myrtle Snow. She's a part of the council, so I put them together. Justice for Myrtle. At first, I was kind of like, she's kind of a bitch, because she was kind of like coming in, snatching Zoe away, just ripping her from her family. But it made sense. I kind of understood. Justice for Myrtle. Fiona's, not arch nemesis, but Fiona's frenemy. Well, enemy, because they never became friends at the end. I think the hate continued. So, Fiona's enemy. I'm sorry, literally, Myrtle, that you had to die at the stake. Or you had to be burned alive at the stake twice. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I am deeply sorry that no one believed you. I'm sorry that Fiona manipulated and gaslighted that panel. I'm sorry that they were too Peabody brained to know she was lying. But she got her revenge with that council. Real quick. Go watch that scene. The revenge plot that Myrtle had with the council, because they didn't believe her and they burnt her alive on the stake. They said she was a liar. I forgot. I think Spalding lied about who burned him or who took his tongue, and he said it was Myrtle, and he did it himself for Fiona, and he lied and said it was Myrtle who took his tongue. Even though she didn't, she just enchanted it so he wouldn't lie. But he said that she took his tongue out and she had to die on this stake. Spalding, you're gonna die too, and you're gonna burn in hell. You're a nasty man. Yeah, I'm so glad she got her revenge back on that council, because yeah, I love Myrtle. Her hair was crazy this season. It stuck. It gave artistic, like Myrtle. And I can always remember that big fluffy bright orange hair that looked like it haven't been permed in I don't know how long. So yeah, that's Myrtle Snow and the council. I could care less about the other people on the council. They didn't bring any relevancy. They were just there. And they died soon later because they burned someone at the stake for believing lies and fishtails. But anyways, next we're on to the younger cast, the kids.
We're just messing with you.
The students. First we have up is Madison Montgomery. Queenie, I love Madison. I really love Madison. They pissed me off. Ryan made me mad when he killed her and brought her back to life. That was a continuous thing with some of the characters in the show, killing them and bringing them back to life. I get it. Resurrection, witches, understandable. Don't play in my face, though. Don't play in my face when it comes to my favorite characters. Madison completed the show, in my opinion, and I'm glad that he brought her back to finish out the rest of the show. I'm upset that he killed her at the end again, but she was resurrected again later on in the earlier seasons. So Madison Montgomery is still alive. So you did not win, Ryan. So I won. I love Madison. I love the whole bitch persona. We needed a bitch, and I'm glad it was her. She plays Mean Girl so fucking well, and I think she should, like, all her roles should be Mean Girl personas, because she plays those well, really, really well. But back to, sorry, side tangent. Back to the show. Madison. I love Madison. The whole threesome with Zoe and I keep forgetting his name. What's his name? I'm gonna just call Evan. The whole threesome thing, ordeal with that. Let's not do that again. I get it. You could only be with each other because you're kind of also in the same realm of being dead. And if, you know, just let's not. I'm glad that it ended and they stuck to a monogamy relationship with because him and Zoe were the better fit. So it kind of made sense that they ended together. I don't know what that is. Sorry. Yeah. Let's not. I'm glad that that's over. He didn't have to kill Madison though. You didn't have to have her go out in the hands of him. I want to talk about the party where she was sexually assaulted. She was raped. I'm so sorry, Madison, that you had to go through that. It's crazy because each character, when they got trauma, they would get their lick back. Like, Ryan was never above just letting a person get trauma and then that be the end. They would get their lick back. Madison got her lick back. Cordelia got her lick back. Myrtle got her lick back. They got their licks. Like, no stone was left unturned. I love that. They literally was playing ping pong in the life or death. Not me. But, I'm so sorry that you got raped. Those men are burning in hell, though, along with the rest of the people that are burning in this cast. So, you know, they got handled. And I'm so forever grateful. Should I do blush, or are we okay? This is just like a quick story. We're not gonna like be crazy. We go crazy, go stupid. I think we're good. Next character is Queenie, actually. I love Queenie. Her going to the hotel. I didn't like that. That was for later. Them intertwining that story. I didn't like that. And Apocalypse, I'm sorry, this is not Apocalypse video, but I just wanted to bring that up. Her being trapped in that hotel, I wasn't a fan. Anyways, back to Queenie though. Her joining the voodoo side, I actually thought that was a slay, because why not put the black woman in the show who was around these white sorority sisters with the black ones? It made sense. I'm glad that they did that. I'm sorry if you could barely hear me when I was just doing that. I know it was kind of close, but yeah. I'm glad that they moved her over to Marie's side and brought her into the voodoo world and showed her you don't have to be cooped up with those white women all the time, because I know they're driving you crazy. And they were. And Queenie felt like she wasn't listened to. She felt like they didn't respect her. She felt like, and they definitely did. They definitely didn't respect her, and they definitely treated her like they were very fatphobic. And obviously, we're not gonna talk about how racist Madison was, but we are though. Yeah, I love Queenie. I'm glad that she kind of won in the end. she was like the next panel. I think that was like she replaced Myrtle and that man and that other lady in the panel that they had. So I'm kind of glad that they had that happen to her. And yes, it on Queenie. Hey, that's Queenie. Next is Nan. I like Nan. I'm kind of not happy how they had her go with that demon. I keep forgetting his name. It's probably best that I don't remember because I don't want to say it out loud because it scares me, terrifies me. He was scary. I didn't like how she went with him to hell to like be his little helper. Maybe that's the way it was supposed to be. But I felt like something else could have happened to Nan in a better tone. That just went all over the she really wasn't really there this season. They killed her because Fiona and Marie was teamed up, and Fiona came to Marie for help because she wanted to be young. We're still on this wanting to be young. Let it go. You're not getting any younger. If you can't transform yourself, oh, who's a witch, to make yourself perceive or look younger or be younger, you're not gonna be young. Let's drop it. But she did it, and she killed Nan because Nan was this innocent life. In order to attach herself to Marie's deal, she had to take a life of an innocent newborn. And Nan wasn't really innocent or a newborn. She was kind of innocent, but all her murders were justified. So that's why she was kind of clarified innocent. But you didn't have to kill her and pick her, though. It could have been, you could have just didn't you get a baby at first, Marie? You could have went and got another one. But they killed Nan instead. But she's happy, apparently. And if Nan's happy, if that's where she wants to be, I'm happy for Nan. Next character is Zoe, actually. She's kind of like our main character. She was kind of like the main character this season. We all thought that she was destined to be supreme. We were all wrong, or I was wrong. I don't know if anyone else thought that. I was wrong. I am not afraid to admit when I am wrong. I really thought it was going to be her, because that's kind of what the show was basically centered, or who it was centered around. But it wasn't her, so I was wrong. I'm kind of glad though she wasn't. She kind of is a bland character when it comes. She was the only one who actually really cared about saving that coven in actuality. Her and Cordelia. I mean, at the end, all the ladies stood up and they all band together and like saved the coven. But in actuality, Zoe was the only one who wanted to actually keep the coven alive. And it's crazy because they brought her here. She didn't know about this place. She was magically dropped here because she didn't know she had powers, because her mom, who was clueless and didn't tell her daughter that she could possibly have this genetic magical gene, she killed killed a boy because, she thought she was just going to have regular sex like a regular teenage person, and she ended up murdering someone, so she had to join this coven by force. And she was the one who wanted it to keep its relevancy the most. So, congratulations to Zoe for rallying so hard behind a place that you once not knew about. She met a boy. She actually won in the end. She met the boy. She got the guy. Cool. That's Zoe, though. Not really too much thought on her. Next character is Evan Peters' character. I'm sorry if I don't remember your name in the show. I just know you by Evan Peters. Sorry. I will put the name. You'll see. Everyone's backstory is so sad. His is sadder. He was in a fraternity college, and he actually thought Zoe was his girl. He actually wanted her. He actually went after her in a respectful manner. I want to fan back to the college party episode, basically the first episode of the plot, where they were at the college party, and his fraternity brother, frat brother who raped Madison. You said fresh tuna. I went to go look up what fresh tuna meant. I'm glad that you're dead. You are rotting in hell. Because why would you say that? Fresh tuna in the Urban Dictionary language is a group, basically a party, or like a group, or a mini teenage. Yeah. So, and they're basically they're basically mentioned as bitches and whores and sluts. So you don't actually respect women. And then we later go on to him sexually assaulting Madison. We should have known from the tuna comment that he was capable. Anyways, this is not for him. He's dead. This is for his fraternity brother. For Evan. You're kind of spineless. You didn't really. You put this group in this party. You gave your speech saying, I don't want you going out here doing any of this, and then you allowed him to verbally assault a woman in your presence, and then he later on physically assaults her. You're not really good at what you're supposed to be doing. Maybe I'm going in too hard about it. I just don't think he was very good at his role. So say. Madison flipped that bus, and he was one of the few lives that tragically passed. Maybe for good reason, because you let that happen. Kind of. You didn't know because your eyes were too focused on Zoe, but you knew his end goal, and you let him do that. So, kind of justified that you died on that bus too. I'm sorry, it may be kind of cruel, but, yeah. It was kind of crazy because he was like in so many life forms in this show. I can't believe that they got him to be all of those, the dog, the fraternity headmaster, now this zombie looking man, and then the help at the end. He was in basically 4 lives in the same realm all in once. I was like, wow, acting. He's a great actor. Evan Peters is a great, phenomenal actor. I wish he would get into more roles that didn't involve sad depression, Koru, murder-adjacent roles. Let's get into more happy-go-lucky, fun-time roles, okay? Yeah. So, the whole incest plot with the mom, he wasn't partaking in part of that. He actually murdered his mom because of that. I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. I didn't know that they were gonna have that out to be that way, but when it happened, I was like, oh boy, oh no. When she was like, oh, you seem different down there, I know you. I mean, every mom I know. No. So, yeah, that's Evan Peters' character. 4 different realms of life. Yeah, him. So, I would say that's pretty much who I'm all gonna cover. I have things to do, places to go, so I'm not gonna take too much time on this. I'm gonna go. The show, I love the plot about the feminine energy versus the masculine energy, you know, them going after each other, war, what do you call it? I'm trying to think of the word for it. The sexist war. The sexist war basically is what this season was about, and it kind of empowered, you know, women banding together, no matter if you're against each other in your own life, you come together and you take down the man in your life that's trying to take you down. I'm glad that that was the message that I received from it, because that is what happened. I don't know what the real message behind this show could possibly be. You have to ask Ryan yourself what that may be about, but I honestly think that it portrayed a good message. I can't really find the good words for it now, but I think it actually gave off a good message, and I enjoyed the show. That's my favorite AHS season. That's one of my favorite seasons from AHS, and I watch that all the time. It's my go-to. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about it for a couple of minutes before I go out and do errands. And now I'm gonna wrap this video up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.